Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. So here's a little update on Volkswagen. I tried to run it today. Well, let's back up a little bit. I went through and got all the electronics working, all the electrics working. Someone had come in here and done some pretty ratty backwoods rewiring. I don't know why they would have done it. It's very strange some of the things they did on the headlights. There's these. Well, you can't see it down here, but uh, riveted to the chassis, there's a whole bunch of spade connectors, a whole bunch of male spade connectors, and that's the ground for all the headlights and blinkers and all that stuff. For some reason, somebody took all those out of there and jumped together a whole bunch of red wires into those grounds and ran those all up to the negative battery terminal. I don't know why somebody would have done that. So I fixed that, and there was some other stuff too. They had bypassed the glow plug relay and just had a little goofy switch underneath the dashboard. I don't know. I got away with it. Anywho, what I'm trying to get at is I got all the lights working and I got all the blinkers working and all that stuff. And so today I thought, what the hell? I'm going to see if I can get this thing to run. So I just disconnected the fuel line from the fuel tank. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got the tank. I sent it off to a guy who's going to get all the rust and stuff out of it. It was a mess, man, just a total mess. Fuel sending unit doesn't work either, so I got one of them on order. So I took the fuel line off of the line that went back to the tank and just had it siphoning out of a gallon jug of diesel and ran it down here. Um, all of my little my little overfill. Well, they're drains. There's drains on each of the injectors. Anyway, all those lines leak, so it leaked everywhere, and the line, this here line, it was just a mess of diesel leaking everywhere. But so I tried to run it and bled all the lines. Got made sure there was fuel coming out of all the injector ports and bled all the lines. And man, it wanted to go. It wanted to go so bad. It kind of popped off a little bit, but and it made some white smoke come out the exhaust. Actually filled up the garage with white smoke before I realized what's going on and opened the door. But so I took the injector lines off, and I think I'm gonna call this the number one cylinder. The number one injector doesn't have is just dry. There's no fuel in it at all. The other three have some. Then I took a ratchet on the crankshaft down on the bottom and was just turning it over, and it turns over. I don't know. It turns over pretty easy, I would say. I mean, being a diesel, this should have 15, 16, 17 to 1 compression. It should be really hard to turn over, and it doesn't. It's not hard to turn over. So I think that may be a problem. I'm sure the injectors themselves are dirty. The injector pump needs rebuilt. The injectors need rebuilt. It's pretty sure it's low compression. So this thing is just got some work needs to be done to it. Now, anyone who knows me, anyone if you've looked at any of my other videos, I do electric vehicle conversions. So the knee-jerk reaction for me with this is I'm not gonna mess with this stupid internal combustion engine. I'm gonna pull that stupid thing out and I'm gonna put an electric motor in it and make a really lightweight, efficient electric truck. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'll tell you why. Because it's gonna cost so much money. Not let me. I don't want to. I don't want to make that sound wrong. It's going to cost X number of dollars to do a conversion. I do actually have an electric motor. I had a 1994 Ford Ranger that I converted about 8 years ago, and this is the motor from it. And you can see this thing. It's pretty substantial in size. It's about 180 pounds. This is an AC76 from High Performance Electric Vehicles, HPEVS. It's an AC76, so it's about 70 horsepower, 180 foot-pounds of torque or so. And so I mean, I already have this, so I wouldn't need to buy a motor. However, this really isn't the right motor for this little truck. That Ranger was about 3,500 pounds, and that motor had enough power and enough torque to give it, I don't know, I'd call it like V6 performance, Ford Ranger, V6 Ford Ranger performance. And it was 3,500 pounds. This thing soaking wet's about 2,000 pounds. So that motor in this would be be rather sporty. Um, and then I need to buy a battery. The batteries that I had on that are now sitting right there. All those gray batteries there on the right or in the middle. Those are all most of the batteries from the Ford Ranger. That's my solar system battery bank. That's all the batteries. So I would need to buy new batteries, probably get Tesla modules. I just happen to have two of them sitting over here, and I would get a different motor. I wouldn't use an AC76. I'd probably get an AC50 or an AC35, and that'd be a more suitable motor for this. I mean, it doesn't need, it's front wheel drive and it's got skinny little pizza cutter tires. But what I'm trying to get at is all that stuff's going to be about, you know, $6,000 or $7,000 to do a conversion on this, plus all the time and the effort of doing it, which I don't mind that at all. I actually enjoy the time and effort. But for $6,000 or $7,000, I could for sure get this engine running perfectly. Hell, I could probably get a remanufactured engine for it, you know, and be done with it. So, and I'd also like to try my hand at making biodiesel. This over here, this 55-gallon drum, this is, I had high aspirations of doing biodiesel. So there's a little heating element down there out of a water heater. And all in that box right there is all of the stuff to do it. There's like a scale you have to measure out the potassium hydroxide, and I even have a that yellow container right there is 5 gallons of methanol. So you combine methanol and potassium hydroxide and some heat, and you got to stir it, and in a tank like that, and you can make your own biodiesel from waste vegetable oil from the local cafes. So I want to give that a shot, and you know, if I'm spending $5,000 or $6,000 anyway, I might as well, you know, make this thing a usable little truck. These are kind of rare. This is a 1980. Apparently, these are very rare. And this one's in extraordinarily good shape. So that's what I'm gonna do, and yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be kind of a different change of direction for me, just for a little while. So, okay, that is the update on the Volkswagen. Thanks for watching. See you next time.